So as a younger guy, I just wasn't getting the attention that I wanted from women. It wasn't that nobody liked me. It's just that the girls who I liked, who I was actually interested in, they didn't want me. They didn't give me that attention. And it was frustrating because I knew that there were some guys who were having way more success than I was. And I thought I was doing everything wrong. I mean, everything right. And like, what are they doing differently than I am? I had to figure it out. These are just some of the habits that have helped me and that I've noticed has gotten me a lot more attention from women. I'm not coming from a place of, I'm on the top of the hill and I know everything. It's just I've been a guy who's been skinnier, wasn't getting attention at all from women, and there was a very annoying part of my life to now having made a transformation where at least I get a lot more attention than I used to. And I just want to share this information so that other guys who are in a similar situation as me can essentially get what they want. Because again, like if you're a guy who's attracted to women and you're not getting that attention, unfortunately what happens to some people is that they end up pretty much just engage in down bad activities. And I don't want you to be like one of those guys. I want you to be one of those guys who is actually confident about himself, knows who he is, and doesn't have to go out his way to get attention from women while there are other guys out there who just like have it easy. Like I want you to be part of that because I've been there, because I understand how awful it can be to feel like you're a subhuman who isn't worth being validated by women. It does a lot to you, like mentally. It makes you think pretty badly about yourself. But then getting to this point, I mean, it adds to your confidence. It makes you feel better about yourself, even though, some people may think it's cringe. Like it's important to some people, and I want to help those guys. If you have the habits of working out and eating right so you can build more muscle and create a good looking physique, that does so much for you because we understand. I think it's so nice that like this stuff is on the internet and guys can actually like see the difference. So I don't know. It's just when you have a certain level of physique, when your body looks a certain way as a guy, people pick up on that, especially women. And you may have seen these videos where girls will literally simp over guys just because they look good, they have a lot of muscle, they're in shape and whatever, versus the guys who are out of shape. Either they're like really skinny or, just really overweight. They still may get attention from women, but it's not the same quality of attention. It's not that desiring feeling of wanting to be with that guy. It's more of getting that kind of friend zone type of attention rather than that I want this guy to, be with me kind of attention. Does that make sense? Basically, in the subconscious mind of a lot of women, they're just going to be naturally attracted to a guy with a certain level of physique. And it's not like a moral thing. It's not like, oh, well, people shouldn't judge all that stuff. No, it's kind of just has to do with how we evolved. Like, even though we have all this technology, we still have our caveman brains. So you got to think like thousands of years ago, if you were like how I was, where I was like really skinny, being a skinny guy in those caveman days, that's really not a good thing because to other guys, to other tribes or whatever, you kind of seem like a weakling and they're not going to trust you. They're not going to respect you that much because, what can you really do to help out? What if another tribe comes and attacks? What if we are trying to hunt something down, but you're too weak to do anything about it? Or if you're overweight and just like not in shape or whatever, like, oh yeah, how are you really going to help us if we have to like chase someone down or just like something like this? Basically, in those caveman days, if you were like a fit guy who had like muscle and like had the energy and vitality and all that stuff, girls are going to want to be around that guy because being around him would be safer. Like it increases your chances of survival. If as a woman you mate with that guy, your children have a higher probability in your mind of living on to the next generation. And it's just like how we've survived. And again, that caveman mind hasn't gone away. We still make the same judgments. Like even with a girl you may be interested in, likely you're attracted to girls who have signs of like high fertility. And, that's why a lot of guys are attracted to only like a small portion of women, or a very few select amount of women actually get like tons of attention and a lot of girls don't. It's just how we evolved. It's just like the human caveman mind just sees this, makes an idea of, okay, this person's healthy. They'd probably be a good someone good to mate with. You want girls to have that impression about you in the positive. You want them to think on a subconscious cave woman type level, I want to be around this guy because being around this guy probably means my safety. I would want to have kids with this guy. Like, it gets deep, but essentially your body and building muscle, having an aesthetic physique specifically where it's like you have broad shoulders and as it goes down to the waistline, it gets like kind of slimmer. You can Google an aesthetic physique or just, you've probably seen a whole bunch of, it's just a good looking physique essentially. But yeah, just building muscle, being more lean, having more muscle, it really just changed the game. It gets to the point where no matter where you are, no matter what environment where you go, your body goes with you. Like you could be wearing different clothes. You could be in a completely different group of people. People are going to judge you more positively in most groups if you're more muscular, if you don't look like a weakling, or if you're not like really overweight. Focusing on building muscle and just being athletic, that's really helped me get a lot more attention from women. Second thing is fashion. This is one of like the more quick things you can do. It's been a really big game changer for me as well. I have to sometimes remind myself when I just like want to walk outside wearing whatever I want to. But anyways, your clothes say a lot about you. And again, it's kind of like the subconscious just impressions that people get about you. You can imagine going into a job interview or something like that. If you're wearing just whatever you want, like pajamas or whatever, that employer's not going to take you seriously. They're not even going to really consider you. You could objectively like be a better person for that position, but just because you had that first impression based off of what you're wearing, it says something about you and people may assume, oh yeah, that guy's not serious. He's probably not going to be a good fit or whatnot. Same thing comes to with women. Like if you're doing what I used to do, which is wear like a whole bunch of nerdy clothes with a bunch of text on it, and it wasn't even color coordinated and all that stuff. I mean, what do you think that says about you? It's such a quick and fast way to increase your status in a whole bunch of different environments just by wearing the right clothes, the appropriate clothes for what type of reaction you're trying to get, what type of impression you're going to get. And it's not as easy as just saying, hey, wear this, like, oh yeah, wear a suit, or, wear like kind of the bad boy clothes, or, wear this. You've kind of just got to decide what kind of impression you want to make. You can go the professional route, wear a suit and all that, and like look really good. Women are going to have a certain impression about you, which is like still good. If you compare that to wearing like more of a bad boy outfit, typically you're going to get more lustful attention rather than just like, I don't know, it's just like different things that you wear give off a different impression. Something worth studying in its own, but generally, if you can wear clothes that just fit you, color coordinated, it's really just the basic stuff. Doing that consistently, it does a lot for your social status, because I had no idea about this at the time, but when I was in school and I just changed the clothes that I was wearing, like instead of just accepting whatever my parents got, I was actually like more picky. I was like, wait, no, I don't want to get this. Let me get these skinny jeans. Let me get, this shirt that doesn't look as immature. And lo and behold, even though my behavior didn't change, or at least I consciously wasn't aware of it, people started to treat me different. They're like, whoa, bro, you had a glow up. And like, all I did was change the clothes that I wear. It's such a big thing. And if you're not doing it, this is one of the quickest ways you can go about increasing your social status, but specifically getting more attraction from women. Last thing I want to say is you don't need to go overboard. I know what some guys do just to kind of flex and come off a certain way. They'll do things with their money, like buy a whole bunch of designer clothes and like watches, like, and all this different stuff just to look flashy. And you can certainly do that if you want to. I just think it's probably not the best direction to go, especially like as a younger guy. If you're not really making that much money, that $500,000 you might have spent on getting all these really nice clothes. you could have spent a fraction of that and then use that to invest in your business or your skills so that later on things will be way easier. But anyways, yeah, just working on your fashion. The nice thing about this is that as you're building muscle, like it goes with the fashion. So the clothes that you wear once you have a lot of muscle, it just gets to the point where you look really good in anything. But yeah, build muscle and focus on the clothes that you're wearing, your fashion. The last habit that has really helped me get a lot more attention from women is just being useful with my time. Something a lot of guys hear or need to hear, like when you're young, so many guys are just like lackadaisical, like, oh yeah, I'll just do whatever I want to. I'm gonna chill out because I'm young. I don't really have any responsibilities and all that stuff. It's like guys who spend all of their time just scrolling social media, playing video games, watching anime. Not saying that those things inherently are bad, but when you're spending an excess amount of time doing these things and you're not spending your time building and developing your skills and doing things like, networking, or whether it's just like planning for the future, or doing things that are actually useful, actually creating something to help somebody else, or just building a skill, whatever it is, just being useful with their time. It has a very big impact on your levels of confidence. And this is something that, so many girls and so many people will tell you in general, like, oh yeah, you want to be better with women, just be confident. But guys are like, well, how do I actually be confident? There's a body language thing. Oh yeah, shoulders back, good posture and whatnot. Focus on things that make you feel confident or whatever. But if I'm being honest, a lot of that stuff can just become automatic if you just do things to be useful and learn. Like if I spend 1 hour, or let's say I spend 1 hour every single day playing video games or watching some like show or whatever, at the end of the year, I'm going to have really nothing in return. I mean, I'll have those experiences, I'll have had those laughs and whatnot, but I'm not really going to be more confident in myself. I'm still going to kind of be in the same place that I was before. If I spent that hour every single day instead of doing all of that stuff, instead if I chose, you know what, I'm going to go work on my body and build some muscle, or, I'm going to build a skill in business so, later on I can be a better entrepreneur, or I'm going to do this thing, like I'm going to start cold approaching with this like free time that I have, like whatever it is, just building a skill that means something to you, doing something that is important with your time. That's going to build a lot of confidence for you. And it doesn't seem to have a big impact at first, because anything new to you, for a lot of guys, you're just going to suck at it. Like if you're trying to be a content creator and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to try and do this thing, you're going to suck at first. If you're trying to build muscle and, you're just getting into this like side of yourself, like getting into fitness, your first few workouts are going to suck. You're not going to get a lot of results, most likely. If you're, new to a relationship and you're like trying to figure things out, like when you're new to something, you're just going to suck a lot of the time. So if you can just get through that phase right now, spend a lot of your time while you're young doing those things to be useful, build actually useful skills, you're going to have so much more confidence later down the road. And it's just going to keep stacking and stacking and compounding and compounding. It's going to become this feedback loop. Like say I spent an hour reading and like I just developed a habit of doing that. Because of that, now I have all this information about like how to be successful in this different area of my life, and I start applying it, and then the results start coming, and that, gives me something for my confidence. Now more girls are giving me attention because, I naturally have that body language, and, they can just like tell that something's different about me compared to all the other people who haven't really done much with their time and they don't really feel confident. And then because you're getting attention, it's going to, create this feedback loop, because you notice a lot of girls are, giving you like eyes or whatever. And then it just makes you even more confident. You're like, wow, anyways, these are just some of the things I figured out as a younger guy that has really helped me to just increase my social status, get more attention from women. And I know a lot of the time it's like funny to think about, some people may laugh about this whole community of like just men trying to look better, whatever. But the thing is, it is a serious thing. Like the world is changing. The competition is getting fiercer and fiercer. If you don't do something like this to stand out and get more attention from women, I mean, we're already seeing it right now. Like 80% of women go for a very small portion of men. Like women's standards have gone through the roof essentially. And what used to get you by in the past doesn't really get you as much now. You've got to stay competitive. You've got to separate yourself from the pack of guys who are clueless to what's going on. You've got to just become more valuable. And these are 3 habits that I've noticed. If you want to be more attention from women. Anyways, hope you got some value from this video. If you did, do that YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, and all that. Peace out.